Let's turn our attention now to another story. You've been paying a visit to emergency departments over recent months. Let's have a look at one video that you posted online.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I am at Blacktown Emergency Department. I've just spoken to some of the nurses and the health workers, security guards here in the middle of the night. You can see it's still a lot of people in the waiting room, even though it's 2 a.m.
Now, Chris Minns, you've received a letter from one of the departments saying that you should stop these emergency department visits. Will you cease?
Look, I won't. I mean, the reason for those visits is that I was encouraged to go there by nurses in particular in Western Sydney in the middle of the night to understand what the conditions were in which they work. I briefly drop into them, Kieran, often in the middle of the night. If there's no one at the triage desk, I go and thank the nurse for the work that he or she is doing on behalf of New South Wales and see firsthand how many people are waiting for treatment. We know 55,000 people in one quarter turned up to an emergency room and turned around and left before seeking or receiving any treatment because the wait time was too long. That's the biggest figure we've ever had in New South Wales. So there's clearly a crisis at the moment in terms of our health system. It's a complicated issue and the problems are not easy. The solutions, I should say, are not easy, but sticking our head in the sand and refusing to even look at it isn't a solution at all.
I saw you also released a letter that you were sent, and it said to you that visits must be properly managed so as to not disrupt normal activities. Have any of your visits disrupted the normal procedures in the ED?
Yeah, look, I refuse to believe that turning up to an ED, quickly checking out how many people are waiting, and if there's no one at the counter, thanking the nurse for their service is a disruption or a breach of protocol. And I think really it's the obligation of every member of parliament to see for themselves how services are actually being delivered, whether it's in their own electorate or in other parts of New South Wales. I would have thought that it's in fact core business for the Leader of the Opposition as well.